Good morning. In this video I will show you the steps I took to make this hide smoker. Pallet stringers for the frame, ripped down the table saw to get 3 lengths out of each stringer. Looking through the treasure heap, I will use this. Cutting off what I need, circular saw set at half depth. I am doing lap joints, but you could just butt these together if you wanted to make it easier. Checking all the corners are square. I'm going to be setting this weld mesh into the timber frame, so I marked, center punched and drilled out all the holes. Push the mesh into the frame and move on to the uprights. Measure and cut. I went with 250 millimeters high. Square up another frame, this one without weld mesh. Corner clamps if you have them. Drill 2 holes right through the lap joint. 75 millimeter screws to attach the frame to the uprights. Add the mesh frame on top in the same manner. Make the same thing again, this time with shorter uprights and no weld mesh. This will be the lid. Add on 2 hinges and now we can cover it. This is a good example of being too close to the project. This is just a box. I could have covered it in plywood and be done. I was originally going to weld up a cone shape and use the jean leg over the top, something like in Hunterz video from 9 years ago, and then I wanted a shelf in it, and before I knew it I had covered a box frame in denim. Anyway, I took the measurements, Mum grabbed these from the op shop for me. I sewed a skirt for the box, leaving as many of the original hems as possible, cut out a square for the top, entertained the kids with a bit of painting on the exposed edges and oriented strand board top. It was at this point I realised how absurd this build looked. Stapled on the denim, made another for the lid section, more staples, glued and screwed on the lid. Get a good fire going, dig a hole the size of the box. I can't be too picky, so I gather up some bark, dry lawn clippings, sugarcane mulch and leaf litter. Mine are all extremely dry and combust the second they touch the coals, so I dampen them just a little so I have time to cut the oxygen with the box on top. You don't want steam, you want smoke, so just a little bit of water. Shovel the coals into the pit, mess around with different combinations and ratios until you are happy with the amount of smoke being produced. I put the pelt in for about 3 minutes, then give it a spin and leave it in for another 3 minutes. I keep doing this until the white hide turns a medium cream colour. Sometimes I'll leave it in a bit longer, sometimes less, depending on how effective the smoke was being. Rabbit skins are really thin, so this won't take all that long. This is before, this is after, and this is the vest I made for my youngest. If you want to learn more about this technique or the reason for it, then I suggest you check out Natalie's video over at Ubundance.